Good morning and welcome to another live broadcast with Green TV, PATT Foundation. We're bringing you a weekly update as per usual, so I hope you've been following in us so far, and if you haven't, go check PATT Foundation's Facebook page and you can see all the weekly updates so far. So, hello, it's Gail Acaster. Hello, Andy Steele.
All right, morning. I'm good, thanks.
Looking very, what's the word? Look like a lumberjack, although they're red shirts, aren't they? But maybe
I don't know. That was the point. Put a lumberjack shirt on because I seem to be doing a lot of work with trees at the minute.
Yes, which will lead me on to a few the update for this week. So it's been a busy week as per usual. I think that's a given with you and what you're doing at the moment. So tell me a bit more about the nature-based therapy that I keep hearing about.
Yeah, we've got Faith down this week in Hull. We've teamed up with Steve Walsh, who's an ex-Navy guy, runs Hull Community Diggers. And we've got 10 weeks of courses that we'll be running. Faith will be doing all sorts of activities, vegetable gardens, willow weaving, just getting the guys out in a very therapeutic setting.
Yeah.
And we're also going out to Woodmansey Garden Centre, working with Paul Aldroyd there. He has Aldroyd's Corner, which is fantastic. And if you ever get a chance to go out, it's just a really nice setting where you can do work, you can have meetings. He's converted an old greenhouse and it's got all sorts of different plants and things there. It's really calming when you go in. We've had our One Hull of a Forest project meetings there before. And if after the hustle and bustle of a day, you go and sit down in a setting that's like being in the garden and have a meeting, it's quite unique. So that's one of the activities we'll be doing. And
whereabouts is that, Andy? Sorry, whereabouts is that?
At the back of Woodmansey Garden Centre,
right
between Beverley and Hull.
Yeah.
And then the other one that Faith's managed to get us behind the scene tickets at the Great Yorkshire Show. So the guys course with us will be getting to see her £35,000 flower show. I think she's an award-winning horticulturalist, so she's quite proud of what she does, and that's great. That the guys get to see what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, Bagsy, come for that one, please. I love flowers. Oh wow, obviously. Oh wow, that's brilliant. So great work there, and I know that Faith is massively on board with what you're doing, and her work's brilliant. So that's really good news for the guys. There's a couple more things as well. You mentioned Garden Centre. There's one in Holland. Funny spelling. It's out near Withensea, which I know people forget. Good old With, especially if you're an East Yorkshire person, and probably if you're watching this anywhere else in the UK, you'll have no clue what I'm going on about. But Withensea is kind of the back and beyond place, isn't it? But it's lovely, and it's a place where a lot of the veterans do reside, isn't it?
It's a sort of a forgotten seaside town.
Yeah, that's a good.
And there's a community of veterans up there. But what's been presented for us is an opportunity to get involved. They've got some glass that we can use to create our own tree stock to supply projects and bedding plants. And also there's all of the woodworking equipment there. So we're looking at how we can integrate the veterans and also bring an instructor on board in terms of the social prescribing and getting people involved in horticultural activities and woodworking, woodcraft. Again, using the veterans. And what a lot of people don't realise, we have qualified chippies woodworkers coming out that are instructors. So we could put them in a really good setting. And just to give the Green Task Force guys a shout out there, they've got their ISO audits coming up this week or this month.
Right.
All of a few other accreditations, which they've done brilliantly to get it to that stage in less than 6 months. But we've got to make sure all the risk assessments, all of the equipment is done. So it'll take us about a month to get it set up. We're back out there on Wednesday and just putting a project plan together. But we've got army guys from Keighley coming over. There's guys in Hull, Steve Kingdom and Mark Obbo. They're all helping and pitching in just to get this moving. And the idea is we'll be making the benches and the plaques for the memorial forests. We'll be able to do picnic tables for pubs, and then the planters and bird boxes, make to order really. And something I've not seen, but there's apparently a very high value product is making tables from driftwood and using resin, and they sell for a very high value. And the other thing the guys are wanting to do is make canoes, which is I don't know if they're going to use.
It's not a massive spot up here in East Yorkshire, but
the obviously woodworking is quite a therapeutic activity for veterans as well as the horticulture. So the idea is that they make the plywood ones are quite easy to make, but you can make them out of cedar wood as well, and they're quite expensive. They're in the thousands of pounds. I won't quote the price because it might put people off, but they're made to order.
Specialist.
Yeah, it is. So that's Andy and Claire out at Holland, the Crossroads Garden Centre. So yeah, you'll see a lot more when we get on the ground there.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And there's I know Andy obviously is on board, not you Andy, another Andy, obviously at Holland is on board with what and he's super excited too to have your own little community. And what great way. I saw the diggers and the big tractors and things, so boys and their toys out in nature. I don't think there's I think as long as there's bacon butties, I think you guys will be in heaven.
So. There's a canteen there as well, so
well there you go.
The intention is to engage the community, and you're right, the bacon butty and coffee is really good.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's great work. Also as well, we've got now PATT Scotland, I do believe. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yes, it's just going far and wide at the minute, and it's great. The lawyers have been instructed to set up the charity in Scotland. And in parallel, we will have Green Task Force Scotland. So there's a team of guys up there. I'll introduce them at a later stage, putting all the business plans together that's needed to operate. And obviously, once we are operational, there's a lot of land in Scotland to plan, and then
beautiful
opportunity to do other things. So watch this space, moving far and wide quite quickly.
So we could we need you cloning then basically, and putting you all over the UK because there's not enough hours in the day for you.
I know, it's getting to that point, but that's such is the nature of this when you're in a startup phase of anything. We've got a lot of different projects going, but that's where the guys are all veterans. They're all military minded. They roll their sleeves up and they get the job done. So I've got no fear. Whilst it's a heavy workload, it's a bit like I'll use the analogy that if you're on a ship and it's battle damage, everybody mucks in and rolls their sleeves up and bails out the water or does the damage control. So, it's the same. We're all rowing the same direction and we're all trying to achieve the same thing. So, it's not down to me. It's down to the guys, really.
And it's, the work that you're doing is so worthwhile when you listen to the guys. Ross in particular is our little, bless him, is, turned his life round massively, and the excitement and, so it is... all hard work pays off for a good cause. So, right, well, coming up to the end of the broadcast, we tried to keep it under 10 minutes. I think we did 10 bang on last week. Is there any other business you'd like to mention, Andy? And I'll wrap up.
No, I'm jumping off. I'm jumping off now for a call with one of the colleges in Chester.
I was going to say you're jumping off the bridge then. I was going to say I'm jumping off the bridge. No, please don't do that.
We're building up links with the Career Transition Partnership with Macca. He's leading that and linking the colleges so we can facilitate training. And then we've got a meeting with the Mersey Forest over in Warrington next week. So we've got desk space and we're looking at setting up in Warrington to support Mersey Forest and the East Cheshire NHS. So a lot going on. So next week we'll be live from the road actually.
Yes, live out there. So that's looking forward to that. Right, I'll wrap this show up. Well, thanks ever so much for the update as per usual, Andy. I don't think there's ever going to be a week where there's going to be nothing to announce or nothing to say, and everything's moving in the right direction, which is absolutely brilliant. We've got Green TV, the live show with our Hull newly re-elected Mayor Steve Wilson. So I know he's super excited about coming onto the show and chatting with myself. So looking forward to that. Loads of projects in Hull. So really, really good. So tune in for that at 7 o'clock. You can see the Facebook link live on the PATT Foundation's Facebook. So have a great day, everybody. It's bye from me, Gail Acaster. Oh, we have to do this too, Ronnie thing. It's like tradition now. Bye from me, Gail Acaster. Keep going to it, Andy. Come on,
goodbye from me. Goodbye from her.
Yeah, we've had no nicknames today other than the Lumbershat. Shared. We might need to edit that one.
Right, edit it if it's live.
I'm going. I'm going. Bye for now.